Okay, so we did video number one about why I love Donald Trump, and that was about his openness and his willingness to communicate with people from all walks of life, which is something that is unprecedented in politicians and very beautiful. And yes, of course, we've seen him, say negative things about people, and be offended, but he's also, when he's also mentioned individuals in good ways, on Twitter. Anyway, but this is video number two of why I love Donald Trump. And I think, I just, somebody's got to love him. Somebody's got to love this man and have hope for him. And why not me? Why not me? If people want to be offended and accuse him of a bunch of things and think that he's a horrible person and that he's in charge of the free world and that he's a horrible person, they can do that. But me, I'm going to be over here loving him and sending him my best energy and my best advice. And I'm going to be open to him being awesome, really awesome. So, reason number two that I love Donald Trump, or video number two, he went on Howard Stern, and Howard Stern asked him about anal sex, right? And he said, no, no, I don't like anal sex. And I don't do that. It's not my thing. Anal sex is not my thing. And I'm just like, oh my God, I love this man. I love men that don't care about anal sex. Like, when we get into men that have money and that have all this desire, drive, or whatever, to do a bunch of deals and like take over, right? So many of these guys are totally obsessed with butt sex and with taking over, like, and being, not, if not violent, but just like getting one over on somebody. I love to put in people's ass, and you know, and there's a lot of guys that are obsessed with anal sex. Like they can't hardly feel anything because their circumcision is so tight, so they want to put it in someone's asshole. And I mean, I feel for them. I feel for them. But it's not really the energy I want to interact with all the time. It's just difficult to deal with all that. Not every day is like is I want to put a phallic object in my ass day. That's not maybe some of us are not really that into it all the time. And so anyway, he was on Howard Stern. He loves to brag. He loves to brag. He loves attention. And he was on Howard fucking Stern. So he could have been like, yeah, I get it in the ass. I get it in all over the place. I get it in with all these chicks. I love butt sex. I take it. You make them take it wherever. I put it in their ass. I put it back in their mouth. He could have said all these things. He could have bragged about anal sex, but he didn't. He just, he's not even into it. And when we have seen him bragging, he said, I kiss him. I don't even wait. I just kiss him. And it's so crazy because you can just, when you're famous, you can just grab him by the pussy. And he has a very big tendency for exaggerating. He wasn't telling anybody to grab girls by the pussy. He was just saying it's crazy to be famous because women will just absolutely lay down for you because you've got wealth and fame. Which is true. Marilyn Manson's talked about this. Having hundreds of girls line up and say, we'll have sex with you. This is just the way of nature. If you have a bunch of money as a man and a bunch of power, or a bunch of power, money, power, then you're going to have a lot of girls lining up. And you can get that without money. You can have charisma. You can have charm. You can have some sort of skill or whatever. But, like, the men that are succeeding, they have a lot of women who want to sleep with them. That's just a matter of fact. The same thing, if a woman was really on point, she's going to have a lot of men that want to sleep with her. So, anyway, I like the fact that Trump is just, he's cool. Sexually, he's just cool. And he might like to have a lot of sex with women, but I don't think he's into children. I don't think that he's into just all the crazy stuff that goes on in Washington that's coming out now, Pizzagate and all this stuff. And maybe they're not killing babies, maybe they're just like having parties where they, like S&M parties, the domino. Do you think I'd have a better time playing dominoes on cheese than pasta? I think do you think I'd be a better dominant on coke than grass, than weed? I don't think it necessarily has. Why are you trying to dominate small children? But you just never know with these fucking people. You don't know because they're so bored with their, you know what I mean? It just, these people are not, they're not the best of the best, Or they would go into politics, you know, um, all day long. I'm transfixed. I want to go into politics so bad. And I'm a horrible individual. Politics and all these games, business, it really draws the most horrible individuals. I can tell you from my own experience of now I'm making a joke, but I mean seriously, like we gotta. It's I think it's really just it comes down to money, interest, sex, and religion, ideology, and try to sort this thing out. All right, I'm gonna stop this video. But anyway, reason number 2 that I love Donald Trump is because he did not use Howard Stern as a he doesn't need to put it in people's ass. He's totally okay with pussy sex, and that tells me a lot about him as a person. He doesn't need to hurt people. He doesn't need to hurt the land. He wants to do things in a good way. He wants to be respectful of the Mother Earth, who he talks about in his Playboy interviews. He talks about, I like real estate because there's value that is like steady, building on Mother Earth. I like that. I like that about him. Everything I read, most of it I like. There's stuff I don't like, of course, but a lot of it I can wrap my head around. And maybe I'm a Trump apologist. But I want to have faith in this man. I want to believe in him. And my mom says it's because my dad was a narcissist, so I love Trump because he's a narcissist. Well, whatever, maybe so. But someone's got to love this man and believe in him, So why not me, right? And if you think that any of these other people would have cared more about whatever you care about, really look into that. I don't think that's true, Anyway, all right.